Life is often seen as a series of chapters, some full of light and joy, others marked by pain and struggle. The difficult moments, those periods when we are weighed down by the weight of loss, disappointment, and emotional turmoil, are not merely obstacles to be overcome, they are integral parts of our human experience. When faced with these shadows, it's easy to feel as though the world is closing in on us, as though we are isolated and unable to escape. The darkness can feel all-encompassing, but it is in these very moments that we are given an opportunity to truly discover who we are. Embracing life's struggles doesn't mean that we should passively accept our pain, nor does it mean we should dwell in it. Rather, it is a call to lean into these experiences, to reflect on what they can teach us, and to find a way through, no matter how long it takes. The shadows that loom over us are often the backdrop against which we can come to understand our resilience, our capacity for growth, and our ability to emerge stronger than before. The light at the end of the tunnel may seem distant, but it's in the journey itself, within the dark corridors of our challenges, that we can find the pieces of ourselves we never knew we were capable of. Embracing life's struggles begins with acknowledging their existence. For many, there is a natural tendency to resist difficulty, to wish that we could bypass the tough times and jump straight into ease and comfort. But life, in its infinite complexity, doesn't allow for such shortcuts. Every challenge, every obstacle, is an invitation for transformation. When we fight against the storms that life brings us, we often find ourselves exhausted, worn down by our resistance. It is when we stop fighting the inevitable that we can begin to accept what is, to sit with our discomfort, and to find the hidden lessons in the struggle. This acceptance does not come easily. It requires vulnerability, courage, and patience. It means allowing ourselves to feel pain without letting it define us, to experience fear without allowing it to paralyze us, and to control our habits, which leads to better health, happiness, and more habits. It means recognizing that our struggles are not signs of weakness, but rather a testament to our willingness to face the harshness of reality head-on. Through this acceptance, we can begin to shift our perspective from seeing life's struggles as punishments to recognizing them as opportunities for personal evolution. The power of perspective cannot be overstated when it comes to embracing life's struggles. We all know the saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But how many of us truly believe it when we're deep in the throes of difficulty? It's hard to see strength in the midst of heartache, and yet that is exactly where it resides. The struggles we face push us to our limits, forcing us to confront parts of ourselves we would otherwise leave unexplored. When we encounter these challenges, we have a choice: to see them as roadblocks that we cannot overcome, or to view them as opportunities to become more resilient, more compassionate, and more self-aware. Our challenges are not meant to break us. They are designed to stretch us, to help us discover what we are truly capable of. By reframing our mindset, we can learn to welcome struggle as a teacher. Every time we face a difficulty, we are given a chance to become better versions of ourselves, to gain a deeper understanding of our own strength, and to uncover parts of our character that might have remained hidden had we never faced adversity. In our culture, there is often an overwhelming emphasis on success, achievement, and the outward signs of prosperity. From an early age, we are conditioned to believe that happiness is tied to external accomplishments: the perfect job, the perfect relationship, the perfect life. However, when we take a step back and look at the bigger picture, we realize that true fulfillment comes not from what we achieve, but from how we navigate the challenges that life throws our way. Struggles have a way of teaching us humility, of showing us that we are not invincible and that our plans may not always unfold the way we expect them to, but this is not a tragedy, it is a gift. The very struggles we wish to avoid are the ones that often bring us closer to who we are meant to be. In the face of hardship, we are forced to reevaluate our priorities, to let go of what no longer serves us, and to embrace the messy, unpredictable nature of life. Let go of great ideas. Let go of expectations. Let go of targets. In the face of hardship, we are forced to reevaluate our priorities, to let go of what no longer serves us, and to embrace the messy, unpredictable nature of life. Our struggles, when embraced, can become the foundation upon which we build a life of deeper meaning and authenticity. Moreover, embracing life's struggles requires us to develop a sense of compassion, both for ourselves and for others. When we are in the midst of our own pain, it is easy to become consumed by our own suffering, to feel as though no one understands or cares. But when we open ourselves to the vulnerability of our struggles, we also open ourselves to the vulnerability of others. And that's exactly what we have to do. We have to become more concerned with others' struggles than we do with our own. We begin to recognize that everyone around us is fighting their own battles, that we are all, in some way, struggling to make sense of the world and our place in it. This realization can foster a deep sense of empathy, allowing us to connect with others in a way that transcends superficiality. The struggles we face are not isolating, they are unifying. They remind us that we are all in this together, that we are all part of a collective human experience. By embracing our struggles and sharing them with others, we create bonds of support and understanding that make the journey through the shadows less lonely and more meaningful. It is also important to recognize that struggling does not mean failing. In our society, there is often a stigma attached to experiencing difficulty, as though it is a personal shortcoming. However, struggling is not synonymous with defeat. It is part of the process of growth. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable to struggle, we are giving ourselves the permission to evolve. It is through these moments of struggle that we build resilience, the ability to persevere in the face of adversity. Just as a muscle grows stronger when it is stretched and challenged, our inner strength develops when we push through life's obstacles. There is no shame in struggling. In fact, it is the very act of struggling that allows us to emerge with a newfound sense of strength and clarity. It's not about avoiding struggle, but about learning how to navigate it with grace and courage. When we embrace the struggle, we empower ourselves to rise above it, to not be defined by it, but to use it as a stepping stone to greater things. One of the most profound aspects of embracing life's struggles is the opportunity for transformation. We often view change as something to be feared, something that disrupts our sense of stability and security. But change is inevitable, and it is often through the process of transformation that we experience some of the most profound growth in our lives. The struggles we face have the potential to reshape us in ways we could never have imagined. They challenge our beliefs, shake our foundation, and force us to question who we thought we were. But through this process, we are able to shed old layers of ourselves, to release outdated beliefs, and to make room for new possibilities. It's through struggle that we develop the resilience, wisdom, and perspective that allow us to live more fully, to embrace life with all its imperfections, and to find beauty in the messiness of the journey. Life, as we all know, is a labyrinth of experiences, woven together by moments of joy, sorrow, triumph, and despair. Each of us embarks on a journey from the moment we take our first breath, walking paths illuminated by the brilliance of light, and often shrouded by the obscurity of shadows. These shadows, the struggles, challenges, and adversities, are an inevitable part of our existence. Yet how often do we truly embrace these struggles? How long do we see them not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth? Today, I invite you to journey with me through these shadows, not to lament their presence, but to celebrate the transformative power they hold within. It is natural to shy away from struggles, to wish for a life unburdened by hardship. But what kind of life would that be? It is through adversity that we learn resilience, through heartbreak that we discover the depth of love, and through failure that we come to understand the value of perseverance. Imagine a life without shadows, a life devoid of depth and dimension. Just as light and shadow together create a masterpiece on a canvas, so too do joy and sorrow paint the story of our lives. To deny the struggles is to deny the richness of our human experience, for it is in the darkest moments that we find the seeds of our greatest strength. Consider the metaphor of a seed planted in the soil. Beneath the surface, it is surrounded by darkness, struggling against the weight of the earth above. Yet it is within this struggle that the seed gathers the strength to break free, to sprout, and eventually to bloom. Similarly, we too must face our struggles head on, recognizing that they are not meant to bury us, but to prepare us for growth. It is in the depths of the shadows that we cultivate the roots of resilience, drawing from them the nourishment needed to rise and reach for the light. Adversity also has a way of revealing our true selves. It strips away the superficial, exposing the core of who we are. When faced with challenges, we are compelled to dig deep, to confront our fears, and to tap into reserves of courage and determination we never knew we possessed. This process of self-discovery is not always pleasant, but it is profoundly transformative. It is in the crucible of struggle that our character is forged and our values are tested. We emerge not unscathed, but stronger, wiser, and more authentic. Moreover, life's struggles teach us the importance of empathy and connection. When we experience pain, we develop the capacity to understand and share the pain of others. This shared humanity binds us together, creating a network of support and solidarity. In reaching out to others, we not only lighten our own burdens, but also remind ourselves that we are never truly alone. Struggles become a bridge that connects us to the stories and struggles of those around us, fostering compassion and unity in a world that often feels divided. The shadows also challenge us to reframe our perspectives. What if instead of asking, "Why me?" we asked, "What can I learn from this?" Every struggle carries within it a lesson, a gift waiting to be uncovered. Perhaps it is a lesson in patience, in letting go, or in trusting the journey. Perhaps it is an opportunity to develop skills, to build resilience, or to deepen our faith in ourselves and the universe. When we shift our perspective in this way, struggles cease to be something to fear and become instead a source of empowerment. The simple reality is that no matter what we go through, growth often takes. And let us not forget the role of hope in navigating life's shadows. Hope is the beacon that guides us through the darkest nights, reminding us that dawn is always on the horizon. It is the quiet voice that whispers, "This too shall pass," urging us to hold on just a little longer. Cultivating hope does not mean denying the reality of our struggles. Rather, it means choosing to believe in the possibility of brighter days ahead. Hope gives us the courage to keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear and the destination seems far away. In closing, let us remember that life's shadows are not to be feared but embraced. They are the proving grounds of our resilience, the canvas upon which our character is painted, and the fertile soil in which our souls take root and grow. By embracing life's struggles, we honor the fullness of our human experience, finding beauty not only in the light, but also in the shadows. So, as we journey through life, let us walk boldly into the shadows, knowing that each step brings us closer to becoming the truest and most radiant versions of ourselves. Life is a journey filled with highs and lows, moments of joy and times of deep despair. As we walk through life, we inevitably encounter challenges that seem insurmountable, moments when the weight of our struggles feels too heavy to bear. Yet, it is within these very struggles that the true essence of our character is shaped. The shadows that loom over us may appear as obstacles, but they are, in fact, opportunities for growth and transformation. Every hardship we face is a chance to understand ourselves better, to learn how to rise after every fall, and to discover a strength within us that we never knew existed. It is easy to be consumed by the darkness, to feel as though there is no way out. But it is precisely in these times that we must remind ourselves that the shadows are temporary and that they do not define us. So the key is not to run away from them, but to embrace them, to walk through them with the belief that there is light on the other side. It is in this journey through the shadows that we find the resilience to continue, the courage to face another day, and the wisdom to appreciate the beauty of life, even in its most difficult moments. In embracing life's struggles, we must first acknowledge the pain. There is no denying that life can be incredibly challenging, and there are times when the weight of our burden seems unbearable. Whether it is the loss of a loved one, the end of a relationship, a financial crisis, or personal failure, these moments can feel like insurmountable walls standing in our way. However, it is essential to remember that it is okay to feel the pain. And pain is not something to be avoided or ignored. It is a natural part of the human experience. It is through pain that we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our capacity for resilience. By allowing ourselves to fully experience our emotions, we create space for healing and growth. The act of acknowledging our struggles does not make us weak, but rather it makes us human. It is only by facing the shadows head-on that we can begin to navigate through them. We do not have to have all the answers, nor do we need to be perfect in our response to adversity. What matters is that we show up for ourselves, that we allow ourselves to grieve, to feel, and to process the challenges that come our way. The journey through the shadows is not one that can be completed alone. As we navigate the challenges of life, we need the support of others. Human connection is one of the most powerful tools we have in overcoming adversity. It is easy to isolate ourselves when we are struggling, to believe that no one understands what we are going through. But the truth is that we are never truly alone in our suffering. The truth is that we are never truly alone in our suffering. There are people around us who care, who are willing to listen, and who can offer comfort and guidance when we need it most. Sometimes simply sharing our pain with someone else can lighten the load. In these moments of connection, we realize that our struggles are not as isolating as they may seem. We find strength in the empathy of others, and we learn that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a strength. By opening ourselves up to others, we create a support system that helps us navigate the difficult times with greater resilience. It is in the shared experience of struggle that we find healing and solidarity. One of the most powerful aspects of embracing life's struggles is the opportunity for self-discovery. When we are faced with adversity, we are forced to dig deep within ourselves to find the strength and resources we need to move forward. This process of self-discovery can be both challenging and rewarding. It is during our most difficult moments that we often uncover hidden strengths, talents, and passions that we never knew existed. The person we become through adversity is often far more resilient, compassionate, and capable than the person we were before. The journey through the shadows forces us to confront our fears, our limitations, and our vulnerabilities. It is through this confrontation that we begin to break free from the constraints we have placed on ourselves and begin to live more authentically. Every challenge we face is an invitation to step into our true power, to shed the layers of fear and self-doubt that have held us back, and to emerge stronger and more self-aware. Every single great new experience or knowledge we get is an opportunity to grow, learn, and become stronger and more self-aware. It is also important to recognize that healing from our struggles is not a linear process. There will be days when we feel like we are making progress, and other days when it feels like we are back at square one. This is a natural part of the healing journey, and it is important to be gentle with ourselves during these times. We live in a culture that often values quick fixes and immediate results. But healing takes time. It is a gradual process that requires patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to continue moving forward, even when it feels like we are not making progress. Some days will be harder than others, but each day is a step closer to healing. We must remind ourselves that it is okay to not have all the answers, and that we do not need to be fixed to be worthy of love and respect. The healing process is not about erasing our pain, but about learning how to live with it, to integrate it into our lives in a way that allows us to grow and thrive. It is also important to recognize that healing from our struggles is not a linear process. There will be days when we feel like we are making progress, and other days when it feels like we are back at square one. This is a natural part of the healing journey, and it is important to be gentle with ourselves during these times. We live in a culture that often values quick fixes and immediate results. But healing takes time. It is a gradual process that requires patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to continue moving forward, even when it feels like we are not making progress. Some days will be harder than others, but each day is a step closer to healing. We must remind ourselves that it is okay to not have all the answers, and that we do not need to be fixed to be worthy of love and respect. The healing process is not about erasing our pain, but about learning how to live with it, to integrate it into our lives in a way that allows us to grow and thrive. Life, with all its radiant beauty and infinite possibilities, is equally a canvas of struggles, challenges, and shadows that test our very essence. To journey through the shadows is not merely to survive life's difficulties, but to find within them a deeper sense of purpose, resilience, and meaning. Many of us are conditioned to view struggles as the antagonists of joy, as the very barriers that separate us from a fulfilled existence. Yet if we pause and reflect, we begin to understand that these struggles are not obstacles to be feared, but rather teachers in disguise. They sculpt our character, teach us humility, and lead us to uncover strengths we never knew we possessed. As the poet Rainer Maria Rilke once wrote, "Perhaps everything terrible is, in its deepest being, something that needs our love." Embracing life's struggles then becomes an act of courage, a decision to face the shadows not with despair, but with the audacity to learn and grow.